guys, welcome back to the fifth video of the February Innate Health series. And today I wanted to talk about this all-important distinction of what direction are you looking in? And not only do I see this as being incredibly important, but this is kind of the whole point of this conversation as I see it. The whole point of why we even have videos on this topic is to kind of really look at what's going to be on this side of the equation. And so, especially with mental health, we tend to be really focused on the content. So we tend to be really focused on the what am I thinking, what am I feeling, how is this experience manifesting, what seems to be the problem. It's very much about what's going on, the what's and the whys are on this side. And there's another direction, and that direction is what I'm going to call the context. And context is looking at how is it that I even can have an experience of thought? How is it that I can even have an experience of feeling? How is it that there's even this kind of ability to have a problem, perceive a problem, what are problems? And so often we innocently get pointed in the direction of what are you feeling? Why are you feeling it? Is it because of your past? Is it because of, the circumstances in your life? Is it because someone did something to you? And we're always kind of looking in the content of what we think and what we feel. And that's kind of the most obvious place to look, especially if we don't even know there's this other direction to look in. But fortunately, there is this other direction to look in. There's this direction of seeing kind of the larger system at play, seeing kind of what's going on, just kind of, behind the scenes. And that's the direction that, to use the river metaphor that I talked about in my book, that's the direction that looks at, well, what is the nature of the river? The nature of the river is change and renewal. It's flow. It's movement. It's like the river isn't defined by kind of what is floating in at any given time. It's defined by the fact that it's just constantly moving across landscapes. And so often we look at, well, what's floating in the river? What sticks are in there? What twigs are in there? What do I need to work on? What do I need to pick out? What do I need to analyze? What do I need to get help with? What do I need to talk about? What do I need to fix? And it's totally missing the fact that if we look over here, we'll start to get clues about, well, is it true that my experience is always flowing? Is it true that there's change? Is it true that there's kind of this renewal that's totally inbuilt and natural for human beings? And when we start to look in that direction, we not only find that it's so helpful and so clarifying, but there's a certain level of comfort there that no matter what's floating in the river, no matter how shitty it is, no matter how much it sucks, no matter how much it's not kind of what we want to be experiencing, when we turn and look in the direction of how the system is working as a whole, we find incredible comfort in that. We find comfort in the fact that there is a bigger kind of psychological mechanism that's moving experience through us. It's moving thought and feeling through us. It's moving problems into a problematic state, to a state of just resolution. It's adjusting, it's self-correcting, it's changing, it's in flux, it's transient. And looking there is where not only transformation lies, but where a whole experience of life gets so much easier. And as compelling as it is to look in the direction of content, it's so helpful to be looking in the direction of context. And that's kind of what is behind this whole February Innate Health series, is every time I decide what I'm going to talk about on these videos, I want to be pointing people towards, well, what's the context? There are millions, billions of resources, and just people talking about the content of stuff. Why do you feel that way? What's going on? How can you fix it? You know, how-to lists and self-help and motivation and all that bullshit. And that's not at all what I'm interested in. I'm interested in pointing people towards what's actually going on behind the scenes. How can we get the kind of big picture, high perspective, bird's eye view of what's going on? And so I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions, I would love to hear them. So you can email me, emails down below, or you can just post a question in the comments, and I will read it and see it and incorporate them into either the next videos for this series or just future videos that I create. So feel free to leave any feedback, and I look forward to connecting with you guys more. So thank you so much, and take care. Bye.